So today we're going to take a look at the AudioCast M5 wireless multi-room sound streamers. I was sent these two for an honest review. So let's take a look at them and see if they're any good. This device is a Wi-Fi casting device and it allows you to cast audio from your phone. This device is kind of like the Chromecast, but it does audio only. So when you get home from work and you want to listen to some music, you just play your playlist, Airplay it, and then you got music throughout your home. And the thing that sets this aside from all the other audio players is that you can link up to 7 of them together. So I've got a speaker system in my room and in my living room. They're completely separate systems, but by plugging the AudioCast into the bedroom speakers and another one into the living room speakers, I sync them up and I can play music to both of them at the exact same time. So you can play the same music to the entire house, which is pretty handy. It's like having those houses that have all the speakers wired together. So it's handy to have if you're just chilling at home, cleaning up, doing chores, whatever. You can just listen to your music and enjoy the day. So it's pretty handy to have these multiple devices that can be synced together and play your music. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction on it, and then we're going to look at the details and some pros and cons and what I think about it. The main function of this thing is to stream audio through the Wi-Fi system. So you need a good Wi-Fi router running at 802.11g, which is 2.4 gigahertz. It doesn't use 5 gigahertz, so you got to have a 2.4 gigahertz system. It would have been better if it used 5 gigahertz, but it would have been more expensive. So it works fine at 54 megabits, it's just audio, so 802.11g is fine. It's got an application that you've got to install on your Android and Apple device to manage it and to synchronize them and to play music to them. Since it's an Airplay enabled device, you don't need to really have the app if you have an Apple phone. Anyone with an Apple phone can come in and just cast music to it, so that's pretty cool. It's a pretty small device and all you got to do is plug in micro USB power and a 3.5mm jack. It comes with the cables, but it doesn't come with a power adapter, so you got to supply your own, but you probably got a whole bunch left over from other cell phones and stuff. So one of the main features is that it's an Airplay enabled device, which allows all iPhones to cast audio to it. So whatever music you can cast through Airplay, you can cast to it. So Spotify requires you to have a premium account to cast to it, but you can bypass that because you can Airplay anything that's playing on your phone. So even if you're watching a YouTube video, you can cast that to the speakers and you can watch your YouTube videos on your phone with really good quality sound if you have a nice sound system. That comes in handy when you just want to watch something quickly, but you still want to have good quality sound to watch it with. So that's an advantage over the Android phone, which needs a premium Spotify account. So you need to pay $10 a month or something to cast to the AudioCast. So having Airplay is actually a huge advantage to the iPhones when using this. So the next big feature of this thing is the DNLA streaming. So you can use media sharing and you can have 200 gigs of music on your computer or on your router being shared, and you can access all of that using the AudioCast M5. So from your phone, you just find the server, you find your playlist or find your folders or whatever, and then you just play whatever playlist, you play whatever music. You can play hundreds and thousands of gigs of music, no problem. So that frees up a lot of space on your phone because you can just throw it all on a thumb drive or something, 64 gig thumb drive, plug it into your router, and then listen to all that through your router. You don't have to turn on your computer. You just have to go under My Music and then Home Music Share, and then you'll have your different media servers there. I've got MediaMonkey open right now, but this is the TP-Link wireless router. You browse its shared folders and then you can click on whatever you want in there. And then you just click on whatever you want and it'll play it to your speakers. You can have access to 64 gigabytes of music on your wireless router server, and you can play music all day long. You'll never have a repeat. So that's a huge feature, and both the iPhone and the Android phone can use that. They install a lot of software on there. There's a bunch of different things and they're all pretty useful, but what I found really useful was VTuner. That allows me to listen to all my radio stations locally and even listen to radio stations in New York, Tucson, Arizona, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Germany, whatever you want. Unfortunately, when you save the favorites, it doesn't really work. I can't find them anywhere, but you can use the recently played folder and then play whatever you recently played, so you can get to them quickly from that. Most of the stations work that I tried, but not all of them. Like I clicked on Lotta World and it didn't play anything, so. Actually, let's test it out and see if we can listen to some music in Japan. So let's go to Tokyo, shall we? Anime to you? Sure, why not? Sure, that works. So there you go, now you can enjoy some Japanese music if you wanted to. So it's good, but it's not perfect. So let's go over some of the pros, and definitely one of the pros is that AirPlay works very well. Anything that can play on an iPhone, you can AirPlay it, and you can play it through the speakers. So you can watch YouTube on it, watch Netflix, watch it with big sound on your small screen. And syncing different rooms works very well, which is mainly why you would buy this. That does work very well. So I've synchronized my bedroom with my living room, and you can set the bedroom to your left channel, set your living room to the right channel, or you can set each of them to have their own left and right channels. So I can confirm after a month of using this that the syncing does work very well, and they never unsynced or anything. And as long as you have good signal quality, they won't drop out. So here's my Android, and I go play on devices, and then living room is premium users only. You have to pay for this, so get a premium account, and it's probably like $10 a month. I don't know, I don't have one, so I'm just using this for free, and you can only cast to your Google Chromecast. It makes a lot more sense for Apple users because you can just AirPlay it off your device for free. Any computer with iTunes installed can also play to the Airplay devices, so you can remote control that. Definitely one of the cons is that it only uses 2.4 gigahertz and not 5 gigahertz. 2.4 gigahertz has quite a bit of interference because there's a lot of microwaves and a lot of devices running at 2.4 gigahertz, a lot of people around you. If you have a lot of interference, this might cause a problem to your AudioCast devices. I haven't found any interference problems, and I live in a condo and there's a lot of Wi-Fi around me, so it's not too big of an issue, but it could be for some people. So the downfall to using the Android phone with the AudioCast is that it doesn't have AirPlay, so you have to go one extra step, and that's to install another application or only use the AudioCast. Only audio from within the AudioCast app can actually be casted to the Airplay, so you can download other applications to use Airplay, or you can root your phone and then you can cast anything from your phone to Airplay. So if you have a rooted phone, it's not an issue, you can use it just like the iPhone, but if you don't have a rooted phone, then you're limited to applications that can cast to Airplay. So Tubio here, I'm using Audio Mac, and you can stream music to it, no problem. All Connect allows you to play all your playlists. So here we can connect to, let's shut down the other one first, and then we can connect to living room in here, and you can connect to all your playlists. You can add that to the queue. Once you add that to the queue, it automatically plays to your living room, and you can change the volume from within this application, no problem. You can shuffle, you can skip ahead. And this application actually allows you to control it from the lock screen, which is pretty cool. So in the lock screen here, you can fast forward, pause, or close it. You can't change the volume unless you log into the phone and change the volume there. So you can only change the volume if you log in and you change the volume on that slider, or you can just push up on the up volume. But you have to be logged in to do that, and that's just one extra step that you have to do on Android phones. So I definitely recommend installing All Connect and Tubio. It allows you to play off internet radio and all your playlists and MP3s on your phone. But it's one extra step you gotta do that you don't have to do on the iPhone. So the iPhone's a little better. You just can click on a song. It plays on the phone, but then you can just AirPlay it, throw it into your living room, and it takes a second to connect. But once you're in, you can change the volume from the side here, no problem. And you can just fast forward from that screen and change the volume and pause, skip ahead, whatever you want to do. So a lot of times I like to change the volume depending on if someone calls me or something, or I have to do something. So it's nice to have that controllability from that screen. So that's just one limitation of the Android OS and its lack of AirPlay. So it's just a little bit more clicking, but it still works pretty well. So on to conclusions. So you've already heard it a bunch of times, but Airplay works very well. I'm pretty happy with how it's worked on my iPhone, and I'd highly recommend it for any iPhone users out there. You want to go wireless and listen to your music free of wires. So for Android phones, just keep in mind that all your options for this device are limited to the application. So the application does work well with DNLA and the VTuner. So if that's what you're using it for, that works really well. So overall, if you like your music, you can easily come home, play it to all your speakers, and enjoy wire-free, clutter-free music. So I hope you enjoyed that quick video. If you want to buy those devices, check out the description for the links, and then you can enjoy your wireless free music. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. So you have to supply your own adapter, but you probably have an Apple one or something, right? So just plug that in. Your speaker system should have an input somewhere. Plug that in. This thing is pretty small, so you can hide it away pretty easily, but I'll just leave it on top for now. There's a small blue indicator light right there, so you can tell it's on. And this thing's pretty small, so you can hide it away, but I'll just leave it on top for now. So open up AudioCast. It'll search for your AudioCast device. Now it tells you to push the WPS button. You push that.
Searching for Wi-Fi connection.
There you go. So then just wait for it to connect.
Wi-Fi connected.
And it says Wi-Fi connected. So that's pretty easy to set up. Probably have to name it now. You're down here. Finish.
Left channel.
So then you can change your channel.
Right channel.
Left channel, right channel, left and right.
Stereo.
So the device uses very little power, like 0.5 watts, but it is a measurable amount of power, so if you want to unplug the devices you can, but it will take about 45 seconds for it to reconnect to Wi-Fi and to start playing music and get recognized by your Airplay again. So it's on standby right now. Let's play some music to it and see how much energy it uses up. Okay, so bedroom's back up and running. Let's go find some music. So when that music starts playing, we'll see how much energy it uses up. So under operation, this thing still uses about 0.5 watts, which is not too bad, actually. Jumps up to 0.8 sometimes, but that's not too bad. 0.11 amps. So that's not very much energy at all. So you can leave these things plugged in all the time, and you probably won't even notice it in your energy bill. So in a year, it'll be using up about this much.